Okay, in this video we're going to be talking about the series circuit lab, and the important thing is going to be going through some of the tools you're going to be using in it. So first thing that's going to be a little bit new in this lab is the resistors. So not the resistors, but this is kind of a different type of resistor. So if you look, it's right here. There's different values, so they're color coded, and they're a little bit boxier, they're a little bit larger, but they do the same thing. They resist current, they resist the flow of charge. So resistors. The second thing, a little less new, alligator clips. So again, connect circuits with them. They get the alligator ends. So alligator clips. The next thing would be D batteries within these clip holders. So there's a D battery. The holders are nice because they don't fall out really, and they can clip together. So you can clip, two or more together. You just got to be careful so you don't break them. All right. So again, you could slide them together. Just be careful. And the last new tool is this right here. This is a multimeter. So what this multimeter does is it actually measures voltage, and it can measure current and a bunch of other stuff we're not going to quite get into, but that's the purpose of it. And it'll read it on this display right here. So those are all the materials. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you how do you measure voltage in a circuit and how do you measure current in a circuit. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to show you both for the resistor right here. So how do you measure voltage? How do you measure current? So this is a series circuit in front of me. So we have batteries, we have the alligator clips. It's off screen a little bit, but you can see there's two resistors that are, close enough. There are two resistors that are in series connected to the two batteries. So what we're going to do is we want to measure of this resistor right here. We want to measure the voltage, and we also want to measure the voltage across this resistor, also the current that flows through the resistor. So we're going to start off by measuring the voltage. So for the voltage, what you want to do, the first thing is you got this click wheel in the middle that lets you select the function. What you want to do is take the click wheel and, first thing, whatever, we'll do this first. So first thing in the click wheel, you take it and you're going to select 20 volts for what we're dealing with, relatively low voltages. So you click 20 volts. There you go, you can see it. So it's in the 20 volt setting. So that's the first thing. The next thing would be to take the probes. So there's two of them, right? Two probes that are attached to the multimeter. There's one red, one black. And what we're going to be doing is we need to make sure they're attached to the right place. So you see there's two of them right here. The black one's going to stay in the middle, and then the red one we're going to take out, and we're going to make sure that's on this side. So the side that has the V for voltage, we're going to make sure it's in this side. So make sure so it's in the right setting. It's connected to the right. The probes are in the right slots. And what we're going to do is we're going to take the two ends of them. So again, they're kind of sharp. And we're going to touch it to either end of this resistor right here. So the resistor in front of us. So again, it's set on the right mode. We got the two probes. We're going to leave the resistor in place. And we're just going to touch it to either side of the resistor, and we should see the voltage change right here. You should see what the voltage is across the resistor. And there we go. So 1.67. If I take them off, it goes to 0. So again, put them on either side of the resistor like so. And that's all there is to it. It's looks like 1.68 volts. So that's how you measure voltage. So now we're going to measure the second thing. So how would you measure, not voltage, but how would you measure the current through this resistor right here? So current's a little more tricky, but not too much more. So for current, what we're going to do, the first thing is we're going to take the probes. We got to attach them a little bit differently. The black's always going to stay in the middle, but what we're going to do is we're going to take the red, and we're going to put it on the other side where it says the 10 amps, 10A. It's a little hard to see. Yeah, there we go, 10A for amps. So we're going to plug it in there. There we go, so we're going to plug it in this side where it says 10A. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to select the right mode. So we're going to take the click wheel, and instead of being on the 20 volts, we're going to put it on the 10 amp side, so with the yellow one basically, so 10 amps. There we go. So it's in the right mode. It's connected in the correct way. So put it down. Now what we're going to do is we're going to detach. So for current we're going to measure it a little bit differently. What we're going to do is we're going to detach one of the alligator clips. This one's fine. Either one doesn't really matter. I'm going to put it down for now. So again, it's detached for measuring current. There's an actual gap between there, and we're going to fill in that gap with the multimeter probes. So we're going to take one probe of the multimeter, it doesn't matter which color, and we're going to attach it to the yellow alligator clip right here. And then we're going to take the other probe and we're going to touch it to the resistor. So again, basically we created a gap right here, and one end we're clipping to the probe, and the other end we're going to touch to the kind of the loose end of the resistor right here. And again, assuming we plugged it in right, assuming it's on 10 amps, so the little yellow, we should see the current being measured. So let's try that out. And that's good. So it's good. Just notice it's a little hard to see. There's a decimal right here. So it's like 0.15 amps. So that seems reasonable. 0.15 amps. So again, the current's a little more tricky, but just make sure you create the gap basically between the resistor and the alligator clip. Okay, so once we're done measuring the current, so we don't have a big mess, we're going to unclip the battery from the multimeter and we're going to clip it to the resistor. So now we got everything back where it was. Good, good. So those are the most important things, is identifying, resistor, what the new resistors look like, what alligator clips are, what the D batteries, the multimeter. So those are all the tools really. And remember, the most important thing you're going to do in this lab is you're going to take the multimeter and you're going to be measuring, again, the voltage of a resistor. So remember, with voltage you touch the probes to either, you don't disconnect anything for measuring voltage, you just touch it to either side, like so, and you'll get the voltage, assuming all this is set up right. And then for current, it is a little bit different. You have to disconnect a side, and then you have to clip, right? You basically have to create that gap. You put one clip on one side, one clip on the one probe, and then the other probe you're going to attach to the, or touch to the resistor. So that's the idea, all the tools, multimeter, and how you measure how you measure voltage with it, how you measure current. So that's it for now.